Libya's Justice Minister says Tripoli is refusing to recognise the arrest warrant for Colonel Gaddafi issued by the International Criminal Court at The Hague. Gaddafi and his closest allies are accused of ordering war crimes to be carried out against their own people. But Tripoli says the actions by the ICC are just a cover for continued NATO bombings. RT's Maria Fanoshina went to see the effects of the airstrikes on the Libyan people.
The road from the capital Tripoli to Brega is lined with the aftermath of war. Towns abandoned as the population fled the bombardment. This is what's left of the civilian airport in the city of Roslanouf, home to one of the country's key oil refineries. The last plane took off from this runway just hours before it was hit.
While NATO insists on it's only hitting the targets of military value, locals say these telecommunications towers some 15 kilometers west of the town of Brega has been destroyed in a NATO attack. The eyewitnesses are saying they've been 2 airstrikes and they've also accidentally burned 2 cars and killed 2 civilians. Since then, there is no TV in this area, and as we can see, phone line has also been disrupted.
There is no water and no electricity. What used to be heaven, this man says, has become hell. What was home now feels unfamiliar.
I have 9 children and I sent them all to my relatives abroad. I don't want them to see their motherland in such a condition.
From this small port, not far from Brega, Libyan gas used to flow to Europe.
We used to produce fuel to send it to them, and now see, they destroy it all. This is terrible and ridiculous at the same time.
The closer you get to the front line, the more you feel it. You can hear the war, and you can even read it. On NATO's leaflets, it drops just before the bombers arrive.
This one says, as you can see, there is a sign here in Arabic that NATO is here in Libya to enforce an on-fly zone over the country to protect civilians. On the other side, there is another sign also in Arabic saying that NATO can attack any place at any time.
This any time happened 3 times over several hours while we were filming.
Brega, Libya's major oil port, is where the frontline lines dividing the country into 2 parts, into 2 sworn sides. It's been a frequent flashpoint between the rebels and Gaddafi's forces. It's a very important point, a strategic location. Getting a firm handle on this town would mean taking control over the country's economy.
Oil facilities seem to be a rare target that NATO bombs never land on, while it looks like the civilian population can hardly escape.
They were like my family. That day I had just gone to the shop to buy some food. And this happened. 6 of them died. I couldn't believe it.
And this used to be a restaurant for oil company staff, where friends gathered after work.
We were eating with my colleagues. Then there was a boom. We knew what that was. We ran. We tried to help those who were trapped. Then the helicopters came too and started to shoot to us, as if they didn't want us to save our friends.
From one street to another, the stories are repeated.
We can solve our problem alone. We don't need any interference. Why NATO? Every morning, every day they bombing and they killed our civilians. But let the NATO go away from this country. This is from Libya.
While those voices become more and more frequent, it's the sound of exploding bombs and warplanes that drowns them out. Maria Fanoshina, RT, Tripoli, Brega.